Said we are live. We're going live in 4 minutes. We're going live in 4 minutes. We're not going live in 4 minutes. It's meant to be going live now. So let's wait and see who's coming on. Just wait and see, because it is Hugmoney. It is Hugmoney. Wait till these adverts finish. And then we just take it from the. Dun, 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 dun. There is a delay. There is a delay. But never mind, there's 6 people on. I decided to jump on early due to the fact it is Hogmanay, and it's just let's get it over and done with, or let's get started. Let's get the party started. Nah, we're only drinking Fanta Lemon today. Who's all in the comments? So it's been an interesting couple of days. Obviously, we won convincingly. Fantastic way to end the year. An absolutely fantastic way to end the year. Harry Kewell leaves Celtic finally. Afternoon, James. Afternoon, James. How are you this afternoon? Got to apologise. I still haven't got this OBS working so that I can get the comments to come along the screen. But once I've sorted that out, once I've worked that out, I'll get the comments coming back along the screen. I got away from StreamYard because it's just a pain in the butt of a software. So what do you think about Harry Kewell leaving and then Brendan Rodgers bringing in one of his old team, one of his old guard back into Celtic after he left Leicester in the summer? It's been mentioned for a couple of weeks that Adam Sandler, can't get over that. That's just we're going to get ripped for that for months, aren't we? Adam Sandler was coming to Celtic, but it wasn't confirmed. It was kept quiet, but there was a lot of speculation saying James Dillon is still smiling like a Cheshire cat. Slaven still. Heidi's watching Grandad. wait a minute to just grab this WhatsApp. That's where is it? Oh, that's bizarre. That is bizarre. Anyway, right. Slaven says, "Great result yesterday doesn't change the fact that the league could have been won by now if we hadn't dropped point." I don't buy that. The leagues is hard. People saying that the league's easy. People saying that Scottish football's an easy league to play in. We had this back under Ronnie Dyler. Right, and people would say that anybody could have won the league then. Ronnie Dyler had to beat who's in front of him. You've got to, when the players cross the pitch, it's the players on the park that do the job. This nonsense that we could have been away, that we could have won the league by now, Slaven, is just it's rubbish, because there's still a lot of football to get played. There's still a lot of football to get played. There's a lot of players to come back, and in football, do you know, it can change in a couple of games. I still think that Celtic will go on a magnificent run now to the end of the season. They always do. I think there's a lot to look forward to, but on the flip side of it, there's also I've got a little bit of fear in me for the transfer window, and I just hope that Brendan Rodgers gets the players that he wants, and I hope that the board and the PLC don't bring in the players that they want. Because that's what happened in the last transfer window. Everything's rosy in the garden until the garden stinks of deadwood, and Celtic have a lot of dead. That was quite poignant, that wasn't it? Anyway, we've got a lot of deadwood in the garden. Good afternoon, troops. Let's get some of the. We haven't even clicked yet. Yeah, James, we haven't even clicked yet. We're halfway through the season, and we've not really got out of second gear. We've not got out of second gear, which is good for it from our point of view, because we can only get better and better, and especially when a lot of these players come back. Rio Hotati's coming back. Abada's coming back. Two mainstay. These were first team players last year. When you look at Cameron Carter Vickers being out, Starfelt away in the summer. That's 50% of our defence was missing for that game yesterday again, right, from last season. From the last 2 seasons that have been really impressive and everything, and everybody's given Brendan a bit of stick over the last couple of weeks. Now, we've done it as well, but he deserves it. We lost 2 games in December. We should never be losing 2 games in December. I did say at the start of December, historically, Celtic always drop 2 points. We always draw a game in December. Always. We always draw a game in December. I never expected us to lose two games. We've came back from those two games, right? And we've won three games in a row. And we've won them convincingly. We beat them yesterday convincingly. They can say what they want about penalties, and it's fantastic. You go into social media and they're still crying about it. They're saying that Palmer, when he took the corner, Palmer's ball went out, and it should never have been a goal. It should have been ruled for going out. The ball looks as if it goes right along the line. I have watched it back a few times, and it's whether the whole ball is over the line or not. And obviously, the linesman that's standing right behind him obviously thought the ball didn't go over the line. Anyway, Pat McGuire's in. Pat, Rangers died in 2012. We beat Sevco. I know we beat Sevco. DJ Singy, how are you this afternoon? DJ Singy, I've not been on your channel for a while. I need to go right. You got any new tunes up recently? Let's get to some of the comments. Diane says, time for us to move on. Some players like Mikey, Seagrest, and others. It was interesting that one player that I thought should have made the bench yesterday couldn't even get near the bench, and that was the one and only Gustav Lagerbelke. I think if he goes, I think if he's going to go out, he's going to go out on loan, Lagerbelke. There are players that we need to get rid of, but how easy is it going to be to get rid of players at this point of the season? Um, James McCarthy, for one, is training with the B team. The fact that he's training with the B team and trying to get games with the B team, is it him just keeping himself fit? Has he finally accepted that he's getting nowhere near the first team at Celtic? And is he with the B team just to keep himself fit? When he leaves Celtic, is he going to be one of the ones that will finally take that little bit of a pay cut in his contract to leave to go and get first team football? Or um, will he be one of these players that just stick around and then sneak out the door in the summer? I think he's that arrogant of a player that he wants the full 2 million that was going to be paid to him over the years of his contract. What's happening with Ohm? Ohm's one for the future. Brendan said that. You've got players, if you listen to what Brendan says in some of his interviews, he'll give little snippets away. One little snippet that he didn't give away was the fact that it was Harry Kewell was leaving. We knew Harry Kewell was leaving, but Brendan Rodgers said, look, he said it'll all something will happen in the next couple of days. Brendan obviously knew that he was going to go and take the job. That's why he went and got Adam Sandler that he worked with at Leicester. Now, I don't know if it's a good thing, him coming in or not. He's coming in as first team coach. Does that mean John Kennedy is still assistant manager? Is John Kennedy still assistant manager? Is he assistant manager, or is he being dropped as first team coach? Because he was first team coach under Ange Postecoglou. He was first team coach under Ange Postecoglou. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with John Kennedy if he is actually assistant manager. 14,000 subscribers, well done. Yeah, thank you for that. The subscribers has actually went up absolutely bonkers today. Oh god, I'm going to this spot. But did you see? I've got two different screens open because let me just go into this and see what the live subscriber count is at the moment, because it has went absolutely berserk today. I didn't expect that video to um, go as nuts as it did this morning, but it's done fantastically well. We're sitting 1,487 subscribers, 1,487 as we speak right now. It's went up unbelievably today, unbelievably. That video this morning has done over 14,000 views. That's just nuts. What's wrong with you people? It's a good day to be a Celtic fan. 14,700 views this morning's video has done. So thank you to everyone who has watched that. Right, players in 3 or 4 year contracts will be hard. I think, James, when you look at it, there's not going to be many players that are on 3 or 4 year contracts that are going to leave Celtic at this window. It's ones that have got a year left, ones that are going out at the end of the summer. When you look at one, Turnbull, Lorna Gallagher, thank you. I'll give that a big hearts. Just do that. I can't get you up on the screen. Once I've figured out how to do the live chat thing on engage with your audience. Start a poll. No, I don't want to start a poll. Too busy writing to UEFA. Yeah, they are that. Yeah, thank you for that, Lorna 999. Thank you for your super chat. You have Lorna. You're one of the ones that are always on the live chats, and I want to thank you for your contribution to the channel over the year and the live chats. It's absolutely fantastic that we've got a nice little community on the live ones, and you're one of the ones, and as long as well as your Uncle Stuart, that come on with the videos when they do the lives. Anyway, let's not talk about Celtic. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Let's talk about. Let me just get back onto OBS. Too many screens. I need to get more screens, I think. No, I'll go back to this one because then I could see what I'm doing. That's better. Yes. So the Sky received hundreds of complaints about the close-up of Sevco dugout. It seems Alex Ray and Phillips Clement were scared in the wains. Jesus goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Anyway, afternoon, Merv Celtic. Um, James Dillon is right. There's not a zombie in sight for a change. I think I could have left this one so that anyone can comment. Can I change it halfway? Can I change it so that anybody can comment? I might just do that. I might just change it so that anyone can comment. Great to hear that Aaron Sandler is a coach. this this is just going to it's going to get ridiculous, these jokes. It's going to get absolutely ridiculous. The Adam Sandler jokes are just going to get unbelievably silly over the next couple of months, which is all fine. Harry Kuehl's left, right. I'm going to shut down some of these windows. Hogmanay is today. Harry Kuehl is gone. Paulo Bernardo. Now there's a player that Celtic have been linked with, a wide player, and it has been suggested that we're going to go for a wide player because Dyson Maida will not be here next month. Tiago Arocha has dropped a little message to Paulo Bernardo on his Instagram, and he said, "Have you scored yet? Have you scored yet?" We dig at Paulo Bernardo, but he's obviously scored a couple of goals, and that was light. So that was. I wonder if he will actually be one of the ones that comes to Celtic. I'm the only worry that I've got about the transfer window. There's the live stream screen. The only concerns I've got about this transfer window is that we get in the players that Brendan wants. That is the only thing that worries me. Because if it's Lawwell and co that's doing bringing in all of these players, when you look at the 9 players that came in last summer, they're all project players, and that's fine. And I've nothing against Celtic bringing in project players, but bring in 2 or 3 a season. Don't bring in 9 in one go. Don't bring in 9 in one go. Bring in 2 or 3 a season. That then allows the young guys to come through the squad. Bosun Lawwell, Ben Summers. Ben Summers is going to be a fantastic player, but I fear that he's going to be one of these players that will go out on loan from the B team and then never get seen back at Celtic. He's not going to do a Callum McGregor. Callum McGregor was in the first team and then went out on loan. So it'll be interesting to see whether Ben Summers, because Ben Summers is a cracking little player. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get back into the team next season. Let's get back to some of the comments. Let's face it, our defence yesterday was a shambles, says Pat. One of the the whole defence there, they couldn't see, they couldn't hold their line. AJ is the worst defender ever, says Pat. Oh, I forgot Uncle Fester was a coach for them. Anyway, we move on for that. Michael says, I believe one of the reasons that some think the summer window was good is the injuries we've had. So instead of introducing them gradually, some got thrown in. Michael, I kind of agree with that, but I don't think it was a particularly good transfer window. I mean, it was a good. We didn't need 9 players. When you look at the players that have came in this season, right? Yang has hardly been in and about. Um, Tilio, Marco Tilio, has played 1, 2 games, 2 halves of a game. He's wanting to go back to bloody to Australia. Um, Ohm has never done much this season, right? There's players that we shouldn't be bringing in 9 players in one season. That's just my opinion. I don't think bringing in 9 players is beneficial to the team long term. And I think what you need to do is we need to be bringing in our younger players and bringing them in. Because what does it say to a young player at 20 year old? What does it honestly say to a young player at 20 year old that is came through the ranks at Celtic? Could you imagine Kieran Tierney coming through just now and then getting put out with the B team because the manager will not play our own youth players. Is he getting told not to pay our own, but play our own youth players? I doubt it, but there's something going on that will sort itself out hopefully over the next couple of weeks when the transfer window is leaving. Vata leaving Celtic for 350 grand is shocking, says William. Well, we've known about that all season, so William, I'm not going to get too shocked about it because we've known that Vata wouldn't sign that contract at the start of the season. He didn't want to sign it for whatever reason. He obviously knew that Ben Doak was leaving Celtic and he was going straight into the Liverpool squad. Liverpool told Ben Doak that they would get into the first team squad. He would be training with the first team. That's why the players left. That's why Ben Doak left. Now maybe Vata, young Rocco Vata, thinks that he can walk into a first team somewhere, and he's not willing to bide his time. He thinks that well, and I've always said it, if the players are good enough, get them in. Age doesn't matter. Um, if you look at that mob yesterday, they had a young player playing for them, and he was pretty much getting the better of Greg Taylor at the time. So if they're good enough, get them into the team. That's what I say. Let's get back to some of the comments. Jim Dolan says, "Good afternoon, Baz. I'm just walking my pooch, still hungover from yesterday. Yes." That's the one thing I didn't have. I didn't have a hangover this morning when I got up, and I've had a busy day. I've had a mega busy day, and it is only what's the back of one we use, but it's it's 11 minutes past 2 with me. James Dolan, let's continue. Liam says, if we don't get 3 points against the Buddies, yesterday was pointless. Do you really think, Liam? Liam, you were the prophet of doom before the game. You were the prophet of doom. You thought that we were going to drop points against them. I did say the night before. I said that we were going to get. Where's my little note paper? And I've still got it here. And this is the team that I said would go out again. I've still got it. And I said 3-1. I knew that they would get a goal. I knew that they would get a penalty. I didn't think that we were strong enough to go a full game without um, us conceding against them. But I said that Matt O'Reilly would score, Palmer would score, and Kyogo would score. I never expected Bernardo to score. But then when you look at it, Bernardo scored the week before and he came close with a header before he actually did score. Anyway, Stuart says, absolutely correct, Baz. We need three quality signings, which is afforded. We brought in 9 project signings. One, yeah, we need, we still need a left back, right? To give Greg Taylor that little bit of competition. Greg Taylor's the only player on the pitch that doesn't have direct competition. There's nobody that's going to knock him. So he's got away with playing bad this season, has Greg Taylor. That's the only reason he's got away with it, because he's nobody there chasing him. So we need a left back. We need a goalkeeper because, let's face it, the goalkeeper was beaten again from distance, and Joe Hart's done this throughout his career. You look back to Joe Hart, and you look back to when Lee Griffiths done it. Lee Griffiths done it for Scotland twice in a game. Twice in a game for Scotland against Joe Hart. So what we were expecting Joe Hart to come in and do at Celtic, although he brought in some experience and he calmed the players down, and but we need to go out and spend decent money on a good goalkeeper, and then we're needing a winger because Palmer's because Dyson's going to be away. Sorry, Dyson's going to be away. So here. Jim's Dolan, same here. Grant and Tad hung over. Yeah, Griffiths done it twice. Griffiths done it twice. Paul Bear says, can't blame the young players for leaving when they can't see a way to get into the first team. Paul, that's exactly what I'm saying. It is no wonder that young players want to leave Celtic when we're going out and we're buying players in at the age range of 20 to 24. Now, what does that say to anyone that's 16, 17, and 18 at Celtic just now, and they're sitting going, right, I'm thinking about my career here. What is the chances of me getting into the first team at Celtic? Celtic keep going on and buying these players at the age range, and then the players that are at that age at Celtic are not getting into the first team. They're not even getting a chance. So I want to get it back to the way that we had it before, where we had a little bit of a conveyor belt for a few years of players that would come in from the youth team. We definitely need that. Who would you sign if you were the man in charge? Who would I sign? Goalkeeper wise. Goalkeeper wise, I would go for the Madrid keeper, the number two for Madrid. I think that's probably about the best that we can get. There's no other keepers that are standout for me just now that would get that. We need somebody that plays European football, has European experience. Look, we've done it before. We went out and bought a keeper for 4.5 million, and we went and got him because he played good against us. Or in general, I'll let me think about that, and we'll do that in the turn of the year during the transfer window when there's not a lot of news kicking about. We'll sit and talk about. I'll sit and look at players, and we'll sit and talk about players because I don't watch a lot of football. I watch Celtic, and that's it. In general, I don't watch a lot of football because I've not got time to. Got to create other content online. So I don't watch a lot of football, but let me have a think about it. There is some Spanish teams that I've been watching. There is one Spanish goalkeeper that I think would do a job for Celtic, but I'm not going to say anything yet. Your legend game was amazing. Kaiser, were you at the game? Did you manage to get a ticket for it yesterday? You kind of went quiet, but and I've seen a video on your Twitter that you're in the ground. Graham Bell priority is a goalkeeper, left back, right back, plus one more striker. I think we're definitely going to get a side. The Liverpool number two would have been a good sign. Paul, people have been going on about that for a, and I'm going to say I don't know because we brought in Phillips from Liverpool who couldn't get a game. The number two goalkeeper he's number two. He's not getting a game on a regular basis. I'm wanting to the the, the keeper that's playing for Madrid is getting game time for Madrid. He's getting game time for them now and again. They're rotating their keepers a bit, but he's still not signed that contract, and he still wants away. Bringing in somebody that's sitting on the bench isn't a good move. We brought in keepers that weren't sitting on the bench in the past couple of seasons. We brought in Scott Bain. Scott Bain was a fantastic keeper. He was a number one goalkeeper, and he came in and he's sitting on the bench. Benji Siegrist was a number one goalkeeper at Dundee United. He's now coming in and sitting on the bench. For me, if I'm a goalkeeper, I'm no staying at Celtic to just make up the numbers. Benji Siegrist is obviously on a fantastic wage that he's not going to get anywhere else, and that's why he's like, I'm not fussy. Once I've done this, I'm away to Australia with my missus, and then I'll catch up with Lee Griffiths, and we'll get a team done there. But when you look at a top quality goalkeeper, one, do they want to come to play in Scotland? We're going to have to be in the Champions League. We're going to have to win the league. But Celtic were too late in the last summer. Far too late, the summer that's just gone past. We had an opportunity. We knew we were going straight into the Champions League. We knew that before May, right? We knew it in April that we were going straight into the Champions League. We had three things that we needed to do, right? A goalkeeper, left back, and a striker. That's all we needed to make the team better. We didn't know that Jota was going to leave, but we were on the verges of bringing in um, not Paul, but Lewis Palmer, right? Is Lewis Palmer a direct replacement for Jota? Is he as good as Jota? Probably not, but we've got to work with what we've got. Anyway, let's move on. Let's get some of the comments before my throat goes. Because I want to do a bit of singing tonight. We need pedigrees, tried and tested, said Ali Jones. Green Machine. Whoever comes in has to be ready. Whoever comes in will be ready. I think that Brendan Rodgers now, I think what the most important thing today was that Brendan Rodgers brought in someone that he trusts and someone that he's worked with for a few years. Now, if you remember, Brendan Rodgers did this his first time round, and then Celtic went on to have a good little bit of success under Brendan the first time round. I think once he gets the players in that he knows, Brendan spoke about this. He spoke about the club being different, a different feel around the club this time. You've got to remember the first time that he came to Celtic, Celtic were hell bent. The fan base was hell bent on reaching 9 in a row and doing 9 in a row. It was a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster time to be a fan. It was a fantastic time to go to games. It was a brilliant time to go to games, especially before Brendan Rodgers came. The 2 seasons that Ronnie Dyler was here was absolutely fantastic seasons as far as I'm concerned, and as far as all my mates were. And my phone yesterday was just it was. It was fun because everybody was going to the games and they're all sending me pictures of the snow outside the ground. When you look at it, Brendan Rodgers is coming to Celtic different this time. We've only won the two championships. He's came off the back of a really successful manager. Ronnie Dyler made sure that we won the league. He wasn't as successful as what he maybe could have been. But you've got to remember, before then, before Ronnie Dyler came in, Neil Lennon was the manager. Neil Lennon had to leave that season that Neil Lennon left, right? Neil Lennon had the opportunity to get Celtic to two cup finals at Celtic Park, and he couldn't do it. He could not do it that season, right? For me, that's the reason. That's the big reason. Lenny had to walk that year. If you can't motivate your team, and if you can't motivate your team to get to two cup finals at Celtic Park, and you've got to remember the two cup finals were held at Celtic Park because of the Commonwealth Games stuff, right? But Lenny couldn't motivate his team. There's no more motivation that you'd need. Going to Hampden is fine. Right, going to Hampden is fine, and Brendan and that has done it, and we've all been there and done it. It's a really horrible ground. You know, it's just a horrible ground. But when you're going to have half a Celtic Park for a cup final, it's like a home game, right? So even though Lenny still won the league that season, he couldn't get us to the two cup finals. He had to walk that season, as far as I'm concerned. You then come in with a manager that was up and coming. He kept us going, winning the leagues. When Brendan come in to take us to that next level in Europe, allegedly, that's what he was brought in for. That never happened. Um, he was f- molding that team. He was getting that team, just taking that little format and making them better, right? He's came in this time and we're off the back of your treble, and people saying that we weren't as good. We're worse this year in Europe than we were last year. We got 4 points in the Champions League last year. This year, under Ange Postecoglou, we only got the 1 point. We might have played better football, but the results weren't there. Let's get back to some of the comments. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about football and we're just going to talk about life in general, I think, because we've been on for 26 minutes. And let's face it, it's Old Year's Night. What he's doing tonight, go for Aaron Ramsdale on loan. Not Hatati to say it, but there are five positions we need. Goalkeeper, left back, defensive midfield, right winger, and a striker. And Maida and Abada are better strikers than they are wingers. I don't think Maida. I don't think he's. I think he's better sitting just behind a striker, not as a main striker, because his final ball and his passing is just terrible, and his shots on goal were terrible as well. Um, AJ is becoming a liability. Maida has been Maida, but done. Yep. Fortune, purely speculation. Hail, hail, Baz. When the new year arrives, boyfriend Benny Hoffer. Are you over this way just now, mate? Um, the weather's a bit weird. It's freezing at nights just now. It's freezing at nights. Bernardo has been coming on slowly. His stuff lately says Paul was certainly was set as a certain to score yesterday. Had that feeling when the ball hit the net. Kyogo, on the other hand, is just exquisite. Our new Hunskelper. What is it? He's scored 7 goals this year in the calendar year against the Rangers. Hampden Park's a dump, said Paul. It is a dump, Paul. Remember the times we've been there over the years, and it's just, it was almost like your second home for a good while, a good few years there. And it's a nasty ground. It's just a nasty ground. I don't like it. Don't like it. One of the funniest times that I've been to Hampden, right, was years ago. I was seeing someone at the time, and we went to a Take That concert. Went to take that, and I was like, I'm just going to go to Hampden just to see what it's like as a concert venue, because I'd been as a football fan, and going to Hampden that day was a completely bizarre experience because you had women pissed as a fart everywhere. You had women just dropping their kegs and peeing down behind cars, and I'm like, there's polos walking about, and I'm like, if this was the football, you'd be getting guys lifted left, right, and centre. There's women stalking about all over the place, absolutely steaming drunk, and then they sell them drink inside. And when you go as a football fan, you've got to go through flipping 2 cordons of flipping polis to then get another check to then go through a turnstile. Anyway, Maida's technical is that Ange's team. Is that, right? Do you know what? we're half season into half the year into Brendan's first year. We need to take the Ange tinted glasses off because towards the end of last season, teams had worked out how to play against Ange Postecoglou, right? Um, Sing Angels. Sing Angels. I was singing that as well, Ali. Right, when you look at it, Ange Postecoglou, he was getting found out last year. This is when we weren't playing good towards the end of last season. Not at all. And that was when everyone was fit. So I think we need to take our tinted glasses off because, oh, and it's only because Ange is having that little kick effect just now that he's having a little bit of success down in England. I think he'll get found out down there, and then they'll start dropping down the league the second half of the year. If not, it'll be next year. They'll be completely found out. Peter King says Happy New Year to everyone who supports Celtic. Was at the game yesterday. Uh, it made them look better. We made them look better. Hail, hail. Robbie Williams sang about Ange. He did not. Fuck's sake. He's a fud, isn't he? Anyway, long we've been on 30 minutes. Here's history, onwards and upwards. Yes, it is onwards and upwards. It is onwards and upwards. It's going to be 2024. I've got to pinch myself. 2024. That's just unbelievable. I can remember when it was 1994. Brendan Rodgers quotes from Celtic media appearances. Brendan Rodgers' best quotes. Can't afford the fee demands. Mavovsky and Shackland transfer suggestions as hoops. Can't afford fee demands. I really don't want to end up with one of those two as our striker. And I'm going to tell you why. I think Mavovsky, as good as he is at Aberdeen, I don't think he's going to improve us in Europe. Shankland, well, Kyogo was meant to be worse than Shankland. Kyogo says, hold my pint. I think if we were buying Shankland, it would just be to piss them off again. Remember, we did that to a guy for Hibs. Not a guy for Hibs, that was one of them. And we bought him and we basically ruined his career. Right, I'm not even going to look at any more Celtic headlines because, let's face it, the next game up is the New Year Battle of the Buddies. Battle of the Buddies. We do play that lot. And in Paisley. In Paisley, it is a Tuesday evening kickoff against the fifth place side, St Mirren. I'm just going to go just to this. Goals are they sitting on? Premier League table. I looked at this earlier today as well. Um, let's see a few results. St Mirren, they beat Aberdeen 3-0. They beat Aberdeen 3. Well, and again, anyone could be beating Aberdeen just now because, let's face it, Aberdeen are absolute garbage. Let's face it, Aberdeen are garbage. When you look at the table, Celtic at the top of the table, sitting on 51 points. 51 points. Rangers are sitting second with 43 points. I hope that what would be really funny is that they lose their two games in hand, and then Hearts actually see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, thinking we could close them down for second place. That'd be funny. Kilmarnock are sitting on 31, and then St Mirren are sitting on 29. 29, 16 goals against, 10 for away from home, and goals against at home is 9 and 11 at home. St Mirren have won 5, drawn 3, and lost 2. Celtic will still win it. I think Celtic will still win that game. It's paramount that we win it anyway because we need to just keep that pressure on the players. You know, the players know that they're going into the break, and they're going to the break, and as long as we're top of the table by the distance that we are, if we drop points after the new year. It would be unacceptable if you ask me. I don't think we will. Don't think we will. I've had 2 hours sleep since yesterday morning, since 4 a.m. yesterday morning. Since 18.8 CFC. Distributed as better sound of silence. Any photos, Kaiser? Yeah, Kaiser. Get your pictures up of the day yesterday. James Dillon, if they lost their 2 games, meltdown would be the meltdown. It would be absolutely hilarious because I never seen anything like that. And it's like Brendan Rodgers said. I thought that Brendan Scott Allen had a lot of health problems when he came to Celtic. Like his diabetes giving him problems. So there you go. There you go, Green Machine. I didn't know that. When you look at Brendan Rodgers, I think that interview yesterday after the game will go down in Celtic manager histories. That was Gordon Strachan like. You remember when Gordon Strachan would just beat down the Scottish media, when he would just give it to the Scottish media and he would just put them in their place. That was Gordon Strachan like yesterday. For Brendan Rodgers to turn around and say, look, he says, over my time here, he says every time we play them, they're coming. And that's 5 managers now that I've seen in my time at Celtic. There's just going to be another manager. He's going to come in. He's going to give them a little bit of an uplift because they won the league. Do you know? You've got to remember they brought in a manager that got them to a European Cup final. They then sacked him. They then sacked him within 6 months. Anyway, I don't want to talk about them. I want to talk about Celtic. Anyway, what he's all doing for New Year. What he's doing for New Year. Tell me in the comments what you are doing tonight. Where are you going tonight? Where are you going in Scotland tonight? And if you're watching from around the world, it's maybe New Year with you already. And if you're watching this, what the fuck are you watching this for? St. Mirren will give us another tough game. Yeah, they will give us a tough game, but someone needs to explain offside rule to Philip Clemental case. Clementine. We need to start calling him Clementine. I will go into the garden and pick clementines and put them in a basket just for that. Ian, as an Aberdeen fan, listen to your opinion. It is true. We are trash as soon as our manager needs to be sacked. But given this is a Celtic channel, nothing makes me happier to see Celtic being Rangers. Thank you for that, Even. Listen, I think Barry Robson is a good manager. I don't know what's went on at Aberdeen this season because let's face it, Aberdeen last season were fantastic. They were way behind. They didn't deserve to finish third. Well, they did because they went on a good run. Can you see? Can you seriously see Aberdeen going on a run? What they're 20 points behind Hearts. Now they came from behind last season. And they went on a good run and overtook Hearts. That's not going to happen this season. They've had a good run in Europe. Has that European hangover been a thing for Aberdeen? Um, I mean, for Aberdeen being ninth in the table, you've got to say Barry Robson is on a sticky wicket. I think the only thing that might have saved Barry Robson if he won the cup. And thank you for your £20 donation to the channel, Ian. Thank you. I think Aberdeen is one of those clubs that, for me, I mean, it was about 10 years ago when I worked up in Aberdeen. They were on about moving stadium then. And there was going to be a lake in front of it. I don't know if that's still going to happen, but Aberdeen need to do something because they've been down in ninth position just now. You know, they're not far off his second bottom. They're only a point off his second bottom, which isn't acceptable. Can they get it? Can they turn it around? Can they turn it around? If Celtic or someone else is going to spend 4 million odd on the Mavovsky guy, will that then allow Barry Robson? Will that give him some time to go out and buy new players to get them up the league? Aberdeen should have had 2 penalties in the cup final. I didn't know. I didn't watch the cup final. But that's no surprise. That is no surprise whatsoever because let's face it. I mean, Rangers yesterday, right? Fans saying that the referees were for Celtic. When you look at the amount of cards that Celtic got yesterday, you're like, he couldn't wait to book Celtic players. Couldn't wait to book Celtic players. Anyway, let's move on and see what you're saying in the comment section. Pat McGuire says, this is good. Alex Ray and Philip Clement are auditioning for the Rocky Horror Show. But anyway, right. 39 minutes in, and the Buddies game. Will we win that? I think we should. we're sitting top of the table right now with three consecutive wins. Sometimes, and I'm going to go back. I feel as if I'm repeating myself here. We'll go back to what I said at the beginning of December. I said that Celtic will drop points in December. Celtic always drop points in December. They always drop 2 points in December. We'll draw a game and then we move on. We get that little lift. Um, that's the reason that I think Celtic will win this game. But we'll then go into the break and then we'll get that nice little rest that we're looking for. Anyway, a big shout out to the man, Ian Morgan Smith, for his £20 super chat. £20 super chat on Old Year's Night. What a man. What a man. Aberdeen will be fine. They were robbed against the Huns last week. It'll be interesting to see what happens because when the league does resume, this nonsense that they think that they're hard done by. It was hilarious watching Clementel using orange cloth to wipe the seat in the dugout. I seen that. I saw that. Hunskelper equals Karl Marx. Karl Marx. Karl Marx does that. Right. Let me see if there's any other news kicking about. I'll click on it. I'm going to see if there's any other SPFL news kicking about just for the pure banter. SPFL Rangers' lips are sealed. The one yesterday, Charlie Adams been confirmed as Fleetwood manager. Way, shite yourself. Sisters Pants has been confirmed. Oh my goodness. Sisters Pants has got a job as Fleetwood manager. Kevin Thompson insists Rangers bloody nose doesn't leave Premiership title hopes in critical condition. It does. Brendan Rodgers' best quotes. 5 Dundee United talking points. Tony Watt. Fleetwood appoint Charlie Adam as Tavernier. Questionable. Rangers penalty snub. Milwaukee and Shankland. Not a lot of other news kicking about today. It's going to be a quiet couple of days news wise. Obviously, we'll get a video. We'll do a video on the afternoon of the first for the game on the second and against Saint Mirren. But that's it. I think is there English football on today? Celtic have scored a total of 23 goals away from Parkhead this season, almost half coming in the last 15 minutes of game. St Mirren have not won back-to-back games since September. Paisley Club have won all 5 of their home league games when they have scored first. That's interesting. Right, the team for the game against Celtic will be without Stephen Welsh. Will they be? Do you think Stephen Welsh will make it, even though he got a dislocated shoulder? Are you worried about him being out, or has Big Rocky done enough? Has Big Rocky done enough to come into the team and sit beside the one and only Liam Scales? Tell me in the comments. Cameron Carter Vickers is out. Tomoki Awata. What is wrong with Tomoki Awata? What is wrong with him? It just seems to get, for a biggish guy, he gets injured awfully easy. I don't know. The referee is going to be David Munro. Head to head. This is a good one. They've played over 256 games between each other. Celtic have won 183. They've drawn 48 and they've lost 34. Over 265 games that we've played. The last 5 meetings have been a Celtic win, a draw, a win, win, and win. Going on previous forms in all competitions, I think Celtic will win it. I think they'll win it all day long. Right, where are we? And let's get back to some of the comments before. The tears for the zombies are a joy to behold. It's the meltdown for that lot and the entitlement to. Yeah, I seen that. And Joseph, I seen it, and I'm not going to comment on it because it's just going down to his level. And there's no, it's okay pointing out and stuff, but do you know what? We won the game. Let them make a complete arse of themselves. Making out that they were hard done by, they were this, they were that, and then I don't think. I think the better team won on the day. For the Rangers manager to be asked on television, do you think the better team won? And then the Rangers manager turn around and go, "Well, you tell me. Do you think the better team won?" What? I, I I'm asking you, mate. I'm asking you. I'm the reporter. But I'm asking you. I want to know. What's wrong with you? Somebody's need to stand behind them and just give him a slap over the head to just answer the question. Anyway, the snow is falling. Kaiser's got it up all around us. Children playing, having fun. Here's a season for love and understanding. Merry Christmas. Anyway, right, that is enough. Because the missus will hear me singing through the room. She's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? You absolute lunatic." Anyway, right, that is it. I'm done and dusted for the day. We went on for 44 minutes, a little bit longer than what I was going to go on. A big shout out to the super chats that came in from Ian and Lorna. Thank you for them. Absolutely amazing people. And thank you, Ian, for subscribing to the channel and commenting. I'm all for people from other clubs subscribing and commenting and stuff, as long as you're not going to come out with personal abusive stuff like the zombies generally do. But where are they all today? I found some Rangers fans. Do this. Whoa, Rangers fans today. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, Paul. Turnbull, spit and carry on, totally ignored. Yep. Clementine is a haunted coat. The manager was raging. Yep. On the train home, bumped into a Rangers fan. He's already angry. Started saying that we always lay down. James Dillon, Happy New Year, Barry and family. Thank you, and the supporters all around there. Yes, thank you. Can you see the Rangers coming? Nope. Can you see the Rangers coming? Happy New Year to every single one of you. It's been fantastic New Year. Make sure you enjoy tonight. Whatever you're doing, have fantastic Hogmanay. I'm probably going to have two New Years tonight because we have New Year an hour before yous, and then I'll have to have New Year again once it is 12 o'clock in Scotland. And on that note, have a fantastic start to 2024, Celtic fans all around the world. Oh, need to end it there, and that's it. We're ending.